Add or remove, you can't chop and change with the law how you want, and that's what the church has done. If you're just saying, oh, it doesn't matter, so you talk to a guy, you say, oh, can I just go commit adultery? And they're like, no, you can't. But then, okay, but can I go eat some pork? They're like, call nothing unclean. That's a black piece of shit. Go on.
It says, neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord Yahweh your power, which I command you. Your eyes have seen what the Lord Yahweh did because of Baal Peor. For all the men that followed Baal Peor, the Lord Yahweh thy power have destroyed them from among you. But
yeah, so the thing is this just dashes yet another one of the countless examples in the scriptures of why Israel ain't 2/3 are just need to get erased off the face of the earth. Because y'all got saved from Egypt. Y'all just like, yo, no, but what about that Baal though? No, but you know, yeah, I know about Yahweh and that. No, but Baal though. No, but he was bad in Egypt though. Some pricks. Go on.
It says, but ye that did cleave unto the Lord Yahweh your power are alive every one of you this day. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord Yahweh my power commanded me.
Statutes and judgments. Because a big part of being an Israelite, you know, you got all these guys trying to be super Hebrew Israelites. Well, okay, you want to be a super Hebrew Israelite, that means you got to be a super judge. And that takes discernment and perception, man, and wisdom. You know, people like to reference, you know, about when King Solomon, you know, was like, okay, you have the woman, and then like one of them, the baby dropped dead, and then she nabbed the other woman's baby. Then he's like, okay, cleave it in two so you both get half. No! You know, that judgment, okay. But then, you know, they'll bring that up in church. But how much fucking discernment or judgment do those dumb motherfuckers in the church have? They can't even put basic scriptures together. Because why are they going to have a 501c3? Why are they going to have state-mandated doctrine? Where's the law? Where's it saying the law? And thou shalt teach whatever the powers that be shall let you teach. The men of the Bible actively teach against the powers that be. Even when they were fucking Israelites. How about that? Go on.
It says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do them. It says that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it.
Yeah, so that means that you know, keeping the statutes. If we're going to be in the land, we need to be keeping the laws and judging that righteous judgment.
Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
Yeah, so this is the point I wanted to get to. Keep therefore and do them, because this is the wisdom and the power in the sight of the nations. So get Psalms 2 from the top. So basically, that the laws, that's a big part of the purpose of them. They are wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations.
Precept.
And the thing is what are we to the nations? We're their rulers, man. They're overseers. And the reason why is because of the laws and the commandments go into that, man. That gives a big insight into how so we can actually righteously judge against the earth. You got what? Look at Esau's court. Is there righteous judgment going on? Oh, hell no. You have the story, what did I read, man? What the fuck was it? Someone... Oh yeah. Oh no, man. Some mama have been beating the shit out of her son, some white geezer, I don't know, man. Some little white boy, he's like 4 years old. They're like, but then, you know, she somehow managed to bust case and she got the kid back. And the kid's all in tears, like, I don't want to go. I'm like, that's funny as hell. Just because I'm like, hold on, this is, you know, everyone's all getting like, oh, it's terrible.
Sound like slavery.
I'm like, hold on. I'm like, okay, so y'all are getting upset about this that's been thrown in your face. But then that just shows, the thing is this is, you know, that great American criminal justice system. America, the land of the brave, land of the free, home of the brave, crusaders for justice and righteousness in the free world. These guys, they can't even judge that simple matter. If I'm like, if a bitch is losing it, I'm like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing, man? If the little nigga's going off, then okay, you can smack his ass. But you can't just be drop kicking little essay just because you feel like it. But anyway, this is the kicker. The kicker is that no one gave a fuck. No one gave a fuck about all them little boys getting popped in slavery anyway. No one was getting upset about that. No one's like, oh, this is terrible. That was just what it is. They were enjoying the money and the blessings they were getting off that. That just shows that righteous judgment ain't a thing. And the thing is, no judgment's been carried out. Even if that bitch got thrown in Germany, she got her fucking head chopped off and hung or whatever and drawn, quartered, lethal injection. Regardless, that no one's crying out for righteous judgment for what happened to Israel. Something like that. Is your precept quick?
Yeah, precept. This is Micah, the 4th chapter and the 1st verse. It says, "But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it, and many nations shall come and say, Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the Lord..."
That means where's it's done away with in that. Gone.
"For the law shall go forth of Zion," another name for Israel, "and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem."
Well, that means the law is going to be going out forever, because the kingdom's going to go on forever. So that means there's no point in which it's irrelevant. So go on, so Psalms 2. You can drop Deuteronomy. Psalms 2.
This is Psalms chapter 2 and 1. Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing?
Yeah, why are the heathen raging? So I'm building the case. So first of all, Israel's, the law is basically the fundamental basis of how we're going to get the rule. Anyway, more or less, how we're going to maintain within the kingdom, keeping them laws. That's what's going to maintain us in the kingdom. Because it's what the wages of sin is death. That's how death came into the world. Sin. Gone.
Verse 2. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord Yahweh.
Yeah, these guys are counseling, because the thing is first of all, is that the Lord's actually set us up as the rulers. That's why he gave the laws to us.
That's the other point I wanted to make sure when I was speaking about, this word ain't for everyone, because why would the Lord say in Jeremiah 4:7 that the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way? If the word's for everyone to be saved and the Lord's for everyone, why would he say he's going to destroy the Gentiles, man? Who are the Gentiles that he's talking about that's going to be destroyed? Esau and the other nations. So they can't be saved, man. If the destroyer is talking about the Lamb, which is the Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai of the nation of Israel, man, starting with the elect.
It says, "And against his anointed, saying, Let us break their bands asunder."
Yeah, let's break their bands asunder. What's them bands? That's them guys having to be in servitude and bondage to Israel. Because that's what these guys don't like. That's why Esau's crafted his realm. That's why he's trying to do everything. Because regardless of of how anyone feels about it, the entire purpose of the earth, it was all done for the sake of Israel. The heathen were crafted for the sake of Israel. The kingdom as a promise exists for Israel. The law, the statutes, the commandments, all this exists for the sake of Israel. So the heathen are upset, because them guys have realized that these guys, they're just pieces of shit. But then the world gets deeper, because even funnier is that the Lord actually gave them a chance to take out all that, all that stress and anger and hatred on these people anyway. But go on.
It says, "Let us break their bands asunder, and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord Yahweh shall have them in derision.
Yeah, the Lord's going to have these heathen in derision. Because the thing is now we're in that time when they've purposed, you know, all that they wanted to bring against Israel. This is the end of the scheme, man. We're at the latter end of the scheme. This is like we've gone beyond that was the planning phase. You went to Psalms 83. Them guys got together. The plan was crafted. That plan was taken out. It was successful. It was successful multiple times, but only through the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Because basically the spirit of the Lord was against us. And let's get that. Get Amos 3. Hold Psalms. Get Amos. Oh, not even 3. Get Amos 2 and 4.
Yep. This is Amos chapter 2 and verse 4. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Judah and for 4.
And it's funny because you go through from Amos 1 up until this point, it's basically cursing out all the other nations. Because it goes through, it's like, you know, for 3 transgressions of Edom, Moab, the fucking Philistines, different heathens, basically cursing them out for their transgressions, which is mainly coming up against Israel, the sins they did against his chosen people. But then the only reason that occurred is because of this gun.
Yep. It says,
the sins of Israel, man.
For 3 transgressions of Judah and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have despised the law of Yahweh.
Yeah, so we despise the law. That's why.
Do you have like a leaflet or something where I can follow you or something?
If you go on YouTube, search, Great Millstone.
Great Millstone.
Yeah, Great Millstone on YouTube.
I'm searching, bro. I'm searching.
Right, well, you found it, dog. You found it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I feel like.
Right,
Blessings, yeah?
Okay.
Nice.
If he does, check it out. Okay, quick.
Yeah. Baruch chapter 4, verse 6. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved God to wrath. Ye were.
Y'all moved Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai to wrath. I say y'all like I didn't do it too. We moved Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai to wrath. The whole nation. Because we've all gone the fuck off anyway. So it's basically, and this is the long history of Israel. And the thing is there's further significance to it, because part of it's just like, you know, with in 2nd Ezra 6, man. You know, the end of Esau is the beginning of when Jacob rises up. You can't have 2 heads. It's like even you have what the fuck is it called? Daniel 7. Yeah, Daniel 7. When you had the Medes and the Persians, it was like one side was lifted up, then the other side lifted up. You can't, you know, one. There's only one person that can occupy the power seat. That's why, you know, this thing of, you know, the UN and blah blah. People saying, you know, oh, when you mention America as an empire, Edomites ruling the world. That's just evidently what it is. Because it's their basically way of rulership is over the whole world. And the thing is, they have this democracy, but it's some BS. Ain't actual democracy or guanin. What's actually happening is, you know, these elites are abusing these bullshit systems to get what they want. It's the same with Rome. You know, they had the Senate. For a while it was running, you know, the Republic. Guys try and glorify, you know, the Republic. Like Rome was the ultimate Republic. Bro, the shit was some scummy, filthy bullshit. You go into the systems of checks and balances they had, so it was meant to actually be, you know, democratic. It doesn't work. And then people say, oh, well, you know, if you want to say democracy don't work, well, you know, there's a reason why, you know, make sure people aren't educated. But I'm like, nigga, shut up, man. Your whole system's BS. Ain't no one actually vote actually matter. But you done on that, yeah? So go back in
This is Amos 2 and 4. Continuing on, it says, because they have despised the law of the Lord and have kept not his commandments, and their lies caused them to err, after the which their fathers have walked.
Yeah, that's it. So it's just like our ancestors. They despise the law. when we're in the flesh, of course we despise the law, man. There's periods, during slavery, where was the where was the Shabbat? Ain't no one keeping no Shabbat in slavery, man. We all fucking completely fell off. We didn't even know what the Shabbat was, man. Go on.
Yep. And it says, but I will send a fire upon Judah, and it shall devour the palaces of Jerusalem.
Yeah, at one point, these so-called blacks, these fucking, imagine you see these crazy Benjamites you see, yeah, losing their minds over in them islands. Them motherfuckers had palaces, man. Them niggas, you see them niggas in Chirac, murdering each other. Them motherfuckers actually had palaces. Imagine that, man. That's funny as hell. But the Lord destroyed those palaces, man. And that's also like all that royal mentality and that and that what's the word I can use, man? The that royal kind of mindset also got destroyed, man. Along with that, it's like what Jeremiah 2:14. Is he a servant? He's a homeborn slave. And why is he spoiled? Because Jake's all kinds of spoiled. The Lord brought a fire against some palaces. When two good examples are the Babylonians and the Romans. When the Babylonians came, they took all them goodly, precious things in the temple. Man were busting. When them guys got taken down, man were hitting them hard yaks. Was it? I can't even remember, man. Maybe Belshazzar. Belshazzar. Was it Belshazzar that was ruler, the king?
No, not the first.
No. It was I can't remember, man. But he's busting yaks from the holy instruments, busting yaks with his boy them. Then the Lord had what's his name come in, man? What the fuck is that? Darius?
Darius the Mede. Yeah, it was Belshazzar. Darius the Mede took down Belshazzar, basically.
Yeah.
In a surgical strike.
Yeah, before them taken down.
Right.
Another good example when Jacob spoiled is the Romans. They took all them goodly precious things. Yeah. The Ark of Titus celebrating them. Yeah. So that's how the Lord deals. When you're going off, when you're going against what the Bible says, then all of a sudden the judgment comes. But the heathens are the one who play it out. Go on.
And it says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Israel, and for 4 I will not.
That's another thing. Israel don't like dealing with the fact that they've gone the fuck off. And just, okay, you're an Israelite, but that don't mean you just made it like that. All now you got to do is just pop women, make music videos, and just be glorifying yourself. That means you got to be in a mind state of humility. Because you fucked up, man, and you got to pay for that. You still in the word suffering, man. Until you get in the kingdom, all them, sensual pleasures and all the glory that comes with being an Israelite, you ain't gonna get none of that till you in the kingdom, man. Okay, you might be able to get your dick sucked, but then you might even bust a nut inside a bird and have some kids. But then them kids belong to Esau. Esau can nab them wherever the fuck he wants. They ain't gonna have no pleasure in raising them. You might have a son and that guy's gonna say, Daddy, I think I'm a woman. That's the kind of place we're in. What the fuck? You ain't enjoying shit out here. When you get in the kingdom, you're gonna raise your son. That guy's gonna come out of the room levitating and shoot, lightning crackling off his skin, man. Super It's gonna go Super Saiyan 3 from the womb, man. Just like Trunks and Goten.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Like, no training required. Just and already going Super Saiyan. Gone.
Yeah.
It says, for 3 transgressions of Israel, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they sold the righteousness for silver and the poor for a pair of shoes.
Now you need to read that again. This shit was fucking disgusting.
It says, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they sold the righteousness for silver.
So Israel, these guys, them laws and all that, the things that give us glory, niggas sold that shit for silver. And then this one gone.
And the poor for a pair of shoes.
Niggas were selling their own for a pair of shoes. that means that these niggas are absolute lowlifes. Does that not require punishment? It must needs, man. That's why you can't get upset about the 2/3. You know, you're getting upset about the 2/3. You got niggas out there who are selling their own for pairs of shoes. The guy might have sold his you for a pair of fucking shoes, man. So fuck niggas. But this is why judgment must needs have come against Israel. Gone.
Verse 7, that pant after the dust of the earth on the head of the poor, and turn aside the way of the meek, and a man and his father will go in unto the same maid.
So hold on, read that again, because this is, I'm like, you know, what the fuck was, Israel lost their minds, man. And the thing is we're, Jacob in that state again in the modern day, man.
It says,
Read that again, man.
that pant after the dust of the earth on the head of the poor.